welcome back to the Friend Zone. My name is Brianne Boyce and I'm your mindset mentor and motivator. Today I'm here to talk to you, the community, about any topic under the sun. And as your friend, no topic is too taboo. I am here for you. Do you know what really trips my trigger? Avoidance. Avoidance. Ghosting. Blocking. Scapegoating. Holy mackerel, but I guess it's October, so if you're gonna ghost now, at least it's festive. But really, what really trips my trigger is when you ask someone a direct question and they vanish. They disappear, they can't just give an answer, it's not that difficult. And you know what I noticed even more? Men. Men do this so often. And it can be the simplest things that can't answer a question. Hey, do you wanna get together? Hey, did you pay that bill? Hey, do you know XYZ? Hey, what was this like? Hey, someone's, they've been talking about a challenge or a struggle they've had for a long time. You give them a solution. You say, hey, did you check this out? Flatline. Or it's a topic that makes them uncomfortable. Or it's a feeling that they can't engage with. And you ask them a question about it after you've already been talking about it. So you probe a little bit more to try and get to the bottom of it, to try and communicate. Flight risk. Bye-bye birdie, right? It's not just men that do it, women do it too. It's like people don't have the ability just to be upfront and honest because they're scared to either hurt someone's feelings, they're scared that they're gonna make the wrong decision or the wrong choice, and it all comes down to they're not confident in themselves. But it drives me insane because, to be honest with you, not being able to be honest and upfront or to be direct actually causes more harm than it does good. It causes more damage to leave people hanging. It causes more damage to leave people in the abyss, to leave them wondering, to leave them guessing, to be in a state of purgatory and confusion where things don't make sense, rather than to just lay it on the line so nobody is guessing where the answer's at, where the question's at, where you stand, where they stand, any of that. It's like in business, if you're running a business or you're working at a job and your boss asked you a question or handed you an assignment to get done and you just sat there, you just vanished and you sat in your bathroom or you went to the washroom, checked your little time card and you sat there all day long just avoiding. Avoidance does damage. Where does avoidance stem from? Honestly, I'm not entirely sure all the time, but I know avoidance can stem from upbringing. Maybe it's mama trauma with the boys. Maybe it's daddy issues. I hate saying those kind of terms, those blanket generalizations, but when it comes down to how people are raised, if they're asked a question, they gave an answer, and they got punished for it, they got in trouble for it, or maybe in previous relationships, if they weren't able to be direct or honest with who they are and true to themselves, they might have gotten accosted by their partner. A man might have been accosted by his ex-girlfriend or his girlfriend. A woman might have been accosted by her man. So they're scared to speak up and just be direct and honest. But honestly, that's where I said avoidance takes a toll. It's much, much worse because then it gets other people, it gets the question asker on edge and just they'll give up. And the avoider, it doesn't feel very good inside. They know that they need to answer and it causes angst and anxiety and actually decreases self-confidence. Because if you can't be confident enough to say it up front, it's going to eat and tear away at you from the get-go. And oftentimes, I've seen it before, and I've dated guys like this. Sorry to my exes watching. Much love to y'all. We're still friends. But they'll come back days later thinking everything disappears. You can dry erase that board, like, she won't remember. It's okay. I'm like, nah. Circle back, bro. Let's go back. I don't have time for wishy-washy people, and nobody should have time for sometimey people or people that can't be upfront and honest, because if you can't be upfront and honest with something so simple, then you're not creating a foundation and fundamentals of trust when things do become more serious. Slap them on the rump, send them down to shoot because they're obviously a walking red flag. I'm just kidding, but I'd be very leery about getting into relationships or business deals with these kind of people if they can't be true to themselves. But again, where does that come from? I want to create an analogy here. I want to take a look at, address a little bit of the avoidance, or if it comes from trauma and stuff like that. We need to stop seeing people for their potential and see them for who they truly are. We don't want to see the vision we have of the situation or the person. We want to see the reality and the truth in that person. Let's take an analogy of a rainforest. I really feel that people are so similar to rainforest. Let's just envision someone in there that causes us this kind of grief and angst. Put them in the middle of the rainforest. It's like the trauma or the fear or the anxieties of being able to answer a question. Where did the avoidance or the escapist mentality come from? The emotionally stunted or the mental abuse, that kind of stuff. Emotional intelligence is a huge thing. Where did the inability to demonstrate that or portray that out in the world or live that truth come from? Well, in the rainforest, they're probably stuck in the undergrowth. The vines coming down, the twigs, the thatch at the bottom, all that stuff, the trees caving in, all the dark and dead leaves clustering around, the snakes and the spiders surrounding them. Those are the demons, those are the traumas, those are the past. That's what's keeping them trapped. It's what's weighing down on them, keeping them stuck in there. And to be honest, we are reflections. The world around us on the outside is a reflection from what comes from the inside. I said that last week in my video. And the reason I use a rainforest as an example is because recently I realized that sometimes people can come into our lives to make us see things for what they truly are. And that's what we want to do. But our mission isn't to have a vision of what people really are and to see the potential and the beauty. We need to see them for what they really are right now. We need to see them for the truth. We need to see the rainforest and all of the darkness and the demons that comes behind the beauty. And it's not our job to chop down the vines, to go in there as a rescue team and draw that person out of all the chaos going around. That's not our responsibility. We might be the light that shines through the bushes. We might be that light shining them, casting a shadow on them, so they need to address everything going around. And a lot of times people do avoid because they don't like the mirror put in their face. Whether it's intentional or not, we are a reflection of the things around us. So sometimes we're also that same mirror that reflects back to people their true demons, and that's why they can't face us. It's not that they can't face us. It's not that they're rejecting us. It's that they can't face themselves. They can't stand to look themselves in the mirror. So they turn away from the light. They stay in the shadow. They hide in that undergrowth. But what they need to do is they need to be in that moment. That's why it's not our job to save anyone. They need to go through it. They need to save themselves. They need to face that mirror head on. They need to start cutting down those vines, chop down the past, building the confidence back up, scooping up the dead leaves and the dead branches, chucking it off to the side, getting rid of that trauma, addressing the mom or the dad issues, the past relationship issues, clearing out the spiders, throwing the snakes away, just peeling back every single layer that's been trapping them and holding them back and addressing it head on. And when they do that, when they get to the point of who they really are and they're present with themselves, they're honest with themselves, they stop avoiding their pain. Then they can be true to show who they really are. Then they can come out of the rainforest. Then they can truly shine and be themselves. That's them clearing their own path. And I always say, I don't want anyone to save me. I want someone to stand by my side while I save myself. It's okay to be that lighthouse, the guiding light to draw them in, but they need to create the path to get to you. They need to come out of it and go through it on their own. And that's how you get out of avoidant tendencies. That's how you get out of escapist behavior, building up that confidence and self-esteem, healing the wounds of the past. Because it's hurt people who hurt people. It's wounded people who avoid. As I said before, I don't believe that anyone is deep down malicious. It's which wolf do you feed? And we're not there to save. We're there to be present. And being present means taking the good with the bad and digging through. If we want an extraordinary life, we need to do extraordinary things and have that badge of courage. And oftentimes courage is just facing ourselves. You're always leveling up, and you're leveling up most from the person that you were. Think of little Mario running around. He eats that mushroom, he grows. Well, we gotta do a lot of digging, eat a lot of mushrooms. Okay, not those kind, don't go there. But we gotta eat a lot of mushrooms, do a lot of inner growth. Level ourselves up compete with who we are. Don't compete with the world around you. Let's not play the keeping up with the Joneses game, but compete with who you were into who you are becoming. Face that, because avoidance is just feeding into fear. And what is fear? False evidence appearing real. So instead, let's flip the fear script and turn into face everything and rise. If you can face it within yourself, you can do it. And then you'll be able to go out there in the world and communicate with people. You're no longer going to be hesitant to ask a question. You're going to be able to face all types of people from your past that remind you of your past that might have triggered you. Maybe they bring up memories of your father, your mother, your ex-wife, your ex-girlfriend, your ex-boyfriend, your ex-husband, your brothers, your sisters, your friends. These people are going to keep coming at you over and over and over and over as tests until you learn how to handle those same kinds of people, those same kinds of scenarios that you've been avoiding within yourself. But again, it all starts from within. We all know that saying, if you take an egg and it's broken from the outside, life ends. Well, if someone comes and saves you and pulls you out, you're not growing. But an egg broken from an internal force by choice, and when that chick's ready to come out, life begins. So when you're ready to face your challenges, you're ready to bust out of that shell, crack it open, and have a shot at life. Now you're growing. Now you're evolving. Now you're being in your truth of who you are when the time is right and the moon is full and you're ready to meet the world on the outside. I hope everyone has a great day. Make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell, that little golden button in the corner. For every Thursday at 2 p.m. we'll have a new video. Maybe I'll be a little candid. We'll see what comes. But make sure, please, to subscribe. That's how we keep the channel going. That's how I know I'm doing a good job. That's how I know I'm giving you guys what you want. And it just feels good. So thank you for the channel. Thank you for the comments. I hope everyone has a blessed week. Take care. Talk soon. Next time on the Friend Zone.